Hello, and welcome to a word of hope for the 13th Sunday in Ordinary Time. I am Father Jim Marchionda, coming to you once again from Southern California. Today's readings are very rich, full of symbolism. The first is from the second book of Kings, the second from St. Paul's letter to the Romans, and the third from the Gospel of Matthew. I would like to focus in on just the opening couple of sentences from the Gospel of Matthew, because they challenge us so very much. Listen to this first couple of lines. Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Aren't those powerful statements? Aren't they challenging? They're not telling us to love our families less. They're saying to love God more. It's a good distinction. It's something we need to pay attention to. Imagine how much you love your parents. Imagine how much you love your children, your siblings, your brothers and sisters. Imagine how much you love them. And then just ask yourself, do I love God more? Sometimes I believe Jesus felt we invested way more in one another than we did in our relationships with God. We're not being asked to forget our relationships. How could we? We're being asked to use our love relationships in life to measure how we should be approaching God and to measure our love for God and then to work at it, to simply keep working at it. The next line also gives us a great challenge that calls for some distinction. It says, and whoever does not take up his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. We've heard that many times, that we need to take up our cross and follow after Jesus to be worthy of Jesus. But the distinction that I think is made is that sometimes we believe we all carry crosses, right? I might carry the cross of my health not being in the best shape that it can possibly be. I might carry the cross of having lost a job. I might carry the cross of being very disappointed in my children not practicing the faith. I might be carrying the cross of any kind of disappointment or sorrow or loss of love. Those are all valid crosses. But the distinction I think that's necessary is that that's not the cross Jesus is talking about. Jesus is talking about his cross, the cross of Christianity. Unless we pick up our cross and follow after Jesus and what his cross symbolized, we won't be worthy of him. And his cross symbolized tolerance. And his cross symbolized patience. His cross symbolized forgiveness, even when it wasn't merited. My friends, these teachings today in the gospel are really strong, and they shouldn't throw us off. They're not saying don't love your family. They're saying use the love of your family to measure how much you should be loving God. And they're not saying ignore your crosses, but realize that alongside our crosses, however we name them and whatever they are, you and I are responsible for helping Christ to bear the cross of Christ. And our worthiness in the kingdom depends on our openness to that and our willingness to carry the cross with our Lord. God bless you.